Raul. Good morning. Hi, Stefanos. We're waiting for Isabel. Hi, Raul. I don't know. Justin! Well, she'll join us when she gets a chance. Hi, Mike. Welcome, everybody, to another version of MOUG on Facebook Live. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. It's always a pleasure to have you all. We are waiting for Isabel. She, I guess, had to run off to do something quickly, but she should be back shortly. Anyway, we can get started. If you have any questions, please let me know. Please tell us you took a day off. I tried. I really tried, and I failed. Oh well. I just feel bad when people need help, and I don't know. Probably a fault of mine. Anyway, hi Mike. Hi Adam. Hi Les. Hi everyone. Hi Robert. Good morning. All right, so anybody help? Here's Isabel. Jorge. All right, if you have any questions, we are ready. Oh, there we go.
Good
must
morning.
must I do anything for the workshop showcase imminent changeover soft deadline? That's a good question. All right, so let's talk about that. So there have been a few changes on the dates. On June the 1st, nothing will happen. On July the 1st, all new spaces that are uploaded will automatically go to Showcase 3. You should start using Showcase 3. It's pretty stable. It's pretty good. I use it. If you ever ask me to stitch anything or fix it, I automatically change it to Showcase 3. And then the plan right now is later on, and the date they're talking about is September the 1st. However, that date could change. At that point, all spaces will be converted to use Showcase 3.0. So what does that mean to you? That means that if you have any spaces right now that are using Showcase 2.0, you should go through those, change them to Showcase 3 when you get a chance, and check the highlight reel, because the difference is that the highlight reel panning will pan differently. And so you may have an instance where one of your scan locations that it stops at will pan into like a wall that you don't want it to. So you should go through and check those, and also check that everything else works okay. And if you need any help or have any questions, you can of course contact support.
I have a question about the switchover, Dee. So there's been a lot of questions about the edit mode in Showcase 3 and about what documentation is available to give to collaborators and contractors. So are there plans to produce like how-to documentation like we have for the old workshop?
Yeah, so our document writer has been super busy. We are actually getting a new person to help out. But yeah, the plan is to have documentation for all of that. So yeah, sorry that it hasn't been implemented yet, but yes, that's definitely something that we'll have.
Can we also ask for documentation for the 360 to 3D conversion? I noticed that a lot of people are asking how to do
Yeah.
it. And if you search for Cortex, there's no discussion on how the conversion actually, where the magic happens.
Yeah, so that is actually a good ask, and I'll make sure that that request gets sent to the document writer. Good idea. Okay. Chris and John, hello.
So here's a good question. What is the best way to promote my business? The best way is to bring your iPad wherever you go and show examples to everyone you meet. So whether it's going to meetings with real estate agents or going to your local chamber of commerce to meet with restaurant owners or home builders, I think people get engaged when they see examples of 3D tours. And so when you just email them or call them, they may not see, they don't have the example right in front of them. So it's very hard to get people's attention. So I would say that meeting people in person and showing in person is the best approach.
Yeah, good answer. Jeff asks, why is it so difficult to create photos in the new workshop? So many additional steps. Okay, I have an answer to you. Shortly, probably this week or next week, there will be a change in Showcase edit mode. And by the way, Showcase 3.0 edit mode is just another word for workshop. So they've moved all of the functionality that used to be in workshop and they've put it into Showcase 3.0 edit mode. So right now, in order to create a highlight reel, you position yourself at the scan where you want to stop and pan, you add that to the highlight reel, but it doesn't actually create a snapshot like it used to. Because it used to be you had to take snapshots and then you would drag them all down into the highlight reel. So that changed a little bit, but either sometime this week or next week, so shortly, that will be changing. And we have listened to you and we will be adding the functionality where you can take your photos, your snapshots, just like you did before, and then you can go to the left-hand side under photos and select as many photos as you'd like from your gallery of photos that you've taken and add them to your highlight reel all at once. Yeah, so that's coming and I've tried it and it's pretty cool. And then you can go to the highlight reel icon on the right hand side and you can move the snapshots around, change the order or whatever you'd like to do.
I actually really like the highlight reel process in edit mode. Now that I've gotten used to it, it does make a lot more sense.
Yeah, so a lot of people wanted to have the scan where they're stopping to add to their highlight reel. They wanted a snapshot of that as well. And you can still do that. You can toggle between the snapshot icon on the right and the highlight reel icon. And you can take a picture and you can also add it to the highlight reel at the same time without having to move anything around. Yeah, but it is an extra step. So you're going to be given options. So that's a good thing.
Oh, here's an amazing suggestion by Lori. Why can't there be grid lines when we take snapshots so that we can make sure they're straight? I think that would be fantastic.
Okay, and I can add that as a feature request as well.
Thank you. And so, oh, and Lori does not like the automatically generated snapshots. So if she contacts you, they can be turned off?
Yes, that's the auto gallery. And if you contact support, we can turn that off for you. It will be turned off for all the spaces that you upload in your account. So it's on or off for on an account level.
So I know that Les Baker has had a lot of issues with the tours being processed in an over or under saturated way, or the straight door frames and window frames having little bites out of them.
Yeah.
And so are there plans to mitigate these issues?
So yeah, we are constantly working on both of those issues. The image quality, saturation, overblown issue is hard because it's a one-click camera and we don't give you the ability to adjust those on your own. So yeah, and it's hard to adjust it so that it works for every situation. So we know about that. We are constantly working on that. And if you give us examples, so just contact support@matterport.com, give us those examples and we always use those to try and make things better. As far as the nibbles are concerned, part of it is just when you scan too close to an object, it happens. It's a depth issue for the 3D data. And again, that is something too we are also working on. So hopefully as things progress, it'll get better and better. Donald Pierce never gets the purpose of auto pages. Oh, you mean the auto gallery? Yeah, if you don't like it, that's fine. Some people really like it because the artificial intelligence decides what pictures to take, and they love it, and they don't have to create a highlight reel. It's just there for them. So it's personal choice, and you can turn it off, but you have to contact support for us to do that for you. And we lost Isabel. She will be back shortly. All right, let's see what other questions we have. What changes are being made?
Sorry about that.
Hold on. What changes, Ben asks, what changes are being made in all around Matterport pricing? So we just had some new plans that were introduced. I don't know of any more changes to pricing for right now, but if we do have some, we will definitely let you know.
So the large space billing has still never been announced. It would be nice to have it formally stated, like what the policy is.
Yeah, I agree. But the policy, so from here on out, large spaces for the classic plans will not count towards your free uploads. And they will be charged as double. And any model that has 101 scans or more is considered large, and that includes 360 views.
John Ramsey has an interesting question. What to do about mirrored tube lists or mirrored flat surfaces that are not vertical? Sometimes you can put mirrors around it, but sometimes it does not work. So you kind of have to experiment. There are no trims that go horizontally or markings. And
so John is asking for the same thing. The request for skylights too. So the request for a horizontal trim has been made by quite a few people. We are aware of that. If I have a jig jog bump out in a set of floor plans that should not be there, is there anything that can be done after the fact? Yeah, Irene, right into support at matterport.com. Sometimes we can fix those. It sort of depends on why the issue exists. Remember that the floor plan team creates floor plans based off of the actual scan. So if something is misaligned in the scan, it will show up in your floor plans. But it's sort of a case-by-case basis. So definitely contact us and we'll see what we can do.
That's it. And so Michael wants to know, when you do 360 views, do they make any contribution to the 3D mesh, or are they just plain imagery?
They do not contribute to the 3D mesh. 360 views do not contribute to the 3D mesh.
Unless you, so a related question is, someone wanted to know, if you do the 360 to 3D conversion, can you then order a matter pack? And would that be accurate?
Okay, so you cannot order a matter pack or floor plans if you have at least one scan done by a spherical camera, which is the Ricoh Theta or the Insta. But if you scanned a 360 view with a Matterport or a Leica camera and then you convert, then I believe, yes, you can order the matter pack and the floor plan.
So the AI's estimate of the converted 360 view is reasonably accurate. Do you think that the quality of the matter pack would suffer when you do a 360 to 3D conversion versus a proper 3D scan?
Yeah, so it's definitely not going to be as good because it's converted. It's not 3D data that's been measured. It's 3D data that's been implied, if you will. So yeah, you can't rely on the accuracy as much in that case.
Jonas has the issue with stairs. So if he goes up the stairs, it goes straight to a room instead of the top of the stairs. So it's when you have a whole bunch of scans in a row and you click, sometimes it's zoom past the intermediate scans depending on where your mouse or your finger is. And so that happens. If you disable some scans between the stairs and the bedroom so that there's a wider distance, sometimes that'll prevent people from zooming as quickly. Do you have suggestions, Dee?
Yeah, or you can just hide some of the scans, but it sort of depends on the individual case. So if you want us to look at your actual space, then write into support. We'll take a look at it and tell you why it's skipping over. So there was a bug that did cause that, but that bug should be fixed. So, all right, so Lori asks, I'm still confused by my pricing. I have classic basic, but will soon grow to 100 models and then more. And these need to be permanently hosted, not real estate. How will this be billed? Still monthly? Is there a space limit? That's a good question, Lori. So you can go over your 100 space limit, and for every block of 50 spaces that you're over, you pay $19 a month. You will, if you're on the basic classic monthly plan, you will still be billed monthly. You'll stay exactly where you are. If you are on the yearly plan, you will just be charged for the overages if you have them. Yes, Lauren, you can keep your classic plan indefinitely. If you just go over your limit, then you'll just be charged the overage fee, which again is $19 per bundle of 50.
Question from Jeff. So he's using a newer iPad, but he is having stalled scans. They just stop. And so if you find that the stall happens at the stage of okay to move camera and then nothing progresses, what that means is that the camera is having trouble transferring the data to your iPad. This could be because you're too far away, or it could be interference from too many other Wi-Fi networks that are nearby. Do you have any other possible causes?
No, that sounds good. I'm looking for questions.
Oh, so I think this was discussed on the We Get Around town hall. So if I have a classic plan and I sign up for a new plan and I have both side by side, can I have free processing on one hand and sheet posting on the other hand together?
Are you going to answer that?
I think technically nothing prohibits it, right?
Yeah, that's correct. When I bought my camera last August, I got a credit as the price dropped right after. Okay, how do I track the use of this credit? It just not, so if you have not been credited the price drop, then you were offered that, then you should contact us and we can look into that. support@matterport.com.
Kelly has an iPad with 16 gigabytes. So when you do a Matterport scan, every approach to scan point takes up about 20 megabytes. And so if you add up the average size of your scans, then you can see how quickly the space will get consumed. I would say that 16 gigabytes is definitely not enough, because as you get more projects, you'll get busy, and then you'll find that, oh my gosh, I'm out of space on my iPad. What do I do? And there's no easy way on site to offload it. And the performance of your iPad definitely suffers a lot when it's almost full. So you want to prevent that. I have 128 gigabyte, and I find that if it's more than half full, it starts misbehaving. So I would definitely err on the side of getting a bigger iPad if it's possible.
Yeah, so there's actually a really good article in the, I think it's in the community on our website that talks about why a better, larger, faster iPad makes a difference So I would definitely suggest looking up that article, and I can post a link to that after this. But yeah, if it's your birthday soon, or if you need a early Christmas present, then definitely getting and investing in a new iPad is a good idea.
Michael wants to know, do you recommend 3D scans outside for the Matter Pack? I think outside the Matter Pack is hard because when you're scanning outside, it captures things like, the sky and the overall environment, trees, and those are really hard to capture in the Matter Pack. So the point cloud will not look pretty. The Matter Pack definitely works better in enclosed spaces.
Yeah. All right, so which is the best practice when you're going to retake a place due to redecoration? Do you get charged if you eliminate all the previous uploaded scans, or what do you recommend? So if you still have the model on your iPad and you're just like 1 or 2 rooms have changed, you should make a copy of that. Then you can just delete the rooms that you're going to rescan and scan those. You would probably want to start outside of one of those rooms so that the camera can register where you're at and recognize something that's still the same, and then work your way into the rooms. If it's a complete remodel of the space, then you should just go ahead and rescan it. But if you don't have the model still on your iPad, you can just scan the rooms that have changed and write into support, and we can help stitch that into the original model.
Oh, I didn't know that. So in addition to stitching 2 separate models, support can replace one room. Let's say that I have a 2-room model and I replaced room number 2, but room number 1. I can scan room number 2 in a separate model, and you can replace it like surgically. Yeah. Oh wow! Oh my gosh!
I have a scalpel. It's like this.
That's exciting.
So no, the way it works is we stitch the 2 together, and then we delete the original scans that are of the room that you've just rescanned.
Oh, that's exciting! Wow.
Or I can leave them. I can just stitch the 2, and then you can have a room that has 2 different looks in it, and you can hide the ones that you don't want. So it's, it's up to you.
So can you still navigate? Let's say that there are 2 versions of room number 2, and you stitch both to room number 1. Is it still possible to walk into both?
Yeah, I mean, so if you've got 2 rooms and you've scanned this room again, I can stitch another version of that room into that room, and then you would just have double scans. So you can switch and you can see how it's changed. You can hide the old ones, you can hide the new ones, or I can just delete the old ones so that you just have a new space with the old this room and the new this room, right? Does that make sense? So there's many options.
I didn't know that. That opens exciting possibilities. But if you're just looking to do a straight replacement and you're just deleting room number 2, then the best thing to do is to go back when the light is similar. Like if you scan the first time on a rainy day, don't go back on a bright sunny day because it'll be weird. The transition won't look quite right. Or if you go back at night, then it'll go from light to dark, and that may not be what you want. Yeah. And also, since you'll be starting again in room number 1 and going back into the newly decorated room, make sure that all the items in the first room are replaced so that it looks reasonably like it was the first time, so that it aligns and you can start over.
Yeah. So somebody had an error message on their camera. If you get any kind of error message on your camera, please reboot it. If the error comes back again, then you need to contact support.
There was an interesting post on MOUG today about someone who had a slice of their model that was gone in the middle.
Yes.
So, and someone else reported that they've also had that. What causes that?
Yes. So that is a fault in the middle lens in the camera, and it needs to come in for repairs.
But why didn't it happen on every floor? I noticed that it only happened on one floor.
Well, it will start once it goes bad, it'll start happening on every scan. And you'll see that. You'll see it looks like somebody just like cut out the middle. Sometimes it's on the top, sometimes it's on the bottom, but it depends on which lens it is. But yeah, that's definitely a hardware problem. I've seen that before, and I did respond to whoever it was that reported that. So yes, we are taking care of that. Okay, so hi Inga. She says hidden scans are suddenly showing during walkthrough, which gives an awful experience how to solve. Oh, that shouldn't be happening. You need to write into support, give us the example, and we'll file a bug for you.
So Michael had a question. So if you re-upload a scan, then you do lose the floor plan and the matter pack. So make sure that you download them before you delete the old scan. You cannot have a new matter pack or new floor plan based on a re-upload. That'll require a separate purchase because things may have changed.
Yeah. So yeah, so if, for example, you upload a space, it had an issue with it, I don't know, there was some misalignment you didn't notice, you ordered matter pack and a floor plan, then you call into support, we fix that for you. I will then give you a new floor plan and a new matter pack because you didn't, you
didn't know.
You didn't know. So, I mean, but if you're making drastic changes, then yeah, you should order all of those at the end when you're happy with what you have. Where does one send a camera for repair? That's what Irene is asking, and how long does it take on average? So the way repairs work is you write into support@matterport.com. We will get you an RMA number, which then sets up the process where a replacement camera is sent out to you. If your repair is not covered under warranty, then you are responsible for the cost of shipping and repairs. Repairs can range anywhere from $400 to about $1,200, depending. And then when you receive the replacement camera, you take it out of the box, you replace it with the broken one into the same box, and you ship that back to us, and you keep the replacement. If you really, really want your the same camera back, we can do that for you, but you have to ask for that. So typically you just keep the replacement. So Andrew asks, what is the process to download from iPad to PC as a backup? That's a great question. You should use iTunes to back up the data from the Capture app to your PC or Mac, and I can post instructions on how to do that. And then if you want to restore the entire backup to your iPad, you can use iTunes. But if you want to just restore one space or model from the Capture app data, then you have to use something like iMazing or iExplorer. But I have a write-up on that, and I can post that.
Are there plans by Matterport to create a backup service for old scans so that we can, because we've uploaded the raw scans for processing, right? Is there any way that we can download it back?
Not right now. So you're talking about taking a space and converting that to a model on your iPad?
Yes.
Yeah, so that feature doesn't exist currently. Do you sell warranties? Well, that's a good question. We don't, but maybe I should suggest that. I'll suggest that. All right, my Pro 2 got battery error that never reached a fully charged. Any trick or tip on fixing other than sending it in? Typically, what happens when your battery won't charge fully, it means that one of the two batteries has gone bad, and unfortunately, you have to send that in to get it fixed. You can try draining the battery all the way to zero, but typically, if it's not fully charging, that's what it means.
So Michael's iPad only has 32 gigs and he needs to offload some space. So iMazing is a tool that I use, and there is a great video by Ken Taber that explains how to use iMazing. So I will post that after for you.
So Kyla says, I did a scan of 4 houses yesterday, and out of the 4, one of them had a triangle off the corner of the garage, and it had a random space in the black. I don't know. Send that in to support@matterport.com. We'll take a look at it and try and see what happened.
Do you mean that as you're scanning, a strange shape appeared on your iPad screen? So that has happened to me before. So when you're scanning along and suddenly a weird shape appears, so that is a capture rendering glitch, and it does not affect your scan. It'll be fine in processing.
So Neil says, can the total square footage be obtained without requesting 2D floor plans? So that's a good question. Sometimes support can look that up for you. It doesn't work on every model of space, but if you write in a request to support, we can at least try and get that information for you. No guarantees. But the best way to get the total square footage of anything you've scanned is to order the floor plans. And remember, our floor plans are measured from interior wall to interior wall. So if you want it to include exterior walls, you have to write in to support after you place your order and tell us that you want it to include the exterior walls. And we can do that. That's not a problem.
Interesting problem by Timothy. His Pro 2 will not scan more than 2 feet, but the Pro 1 does much better. I have not noticed that. I would try in different environments, and I assume that you're trying them side by side. So are there camera diagnostics that will tell you what faults it may be having, Dee?
Yeah, so Timothy, if I were you, I would write into support. We can take a look at your camera. It's it shouldn't be just scanning 2 feet. That doesn't sound right. I don't know what you mean by it can't scan more than 2 feet. Is it just not aligning when you move more than 2 feet? Is it disconnecting from the iPad when you move more than 2 feet? Is it, I don't know, the images are not showing more than 2 feet? So write in, we will take a look at what the issue is and we'll help you. So Kelly Castle asks, what's the difference between the Matterport Pro and the Matterport Pro 2? That's a great question. If you go to our support page, we list the information about each camera, and you can go down and look at the differences. But basically, the Matterport Pro 2 has higher resolution on the images. Yeah, so an area measurement tool, you can do that sort of by hand. You can go into the measurement tool in Workshop or Showcase edit mode, and you can measure the dimensions of a room and then multiply them. So you can kind of do that yourself if you want. All righty. Well, it looks like we are out of time.
We did have a request for French translation, and unfortunately, that's not possible for me. I don't speak French.
Je peux parler un petit peu français, mais j'ai oublié beaucoup. So no, I mean, yeah, it would be really nice to have it translated into French. If you want to come over and join us and sit next to me, you can translate for us. I would be more than welcome to have you. Anyway, thank you everybody for joining us. Thanks for all your great questions. I have some things that I need to work on, and I will get those done. Same time next week, Isabel? Yep. So we will see you next Tuesday, same time, same place, 9 a.m. Pacific time. Again, thank you so much, Isabel, for your time. And I did want to mention, you know, you spent a lot of time helping people answering questions on the MOOC forum, the users group. You know, you do that with no pay and out of the kindness of your heart. And Matterport truly appreciates everything you do. So thank you so much. And again, thanks to everybody for joining us. See you next week. Bye.